Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. We're going to quickly jump into CoinGecko here. We're currently sitting at a $1.79 trillion market cap, down 11.8%. Looking at the top 10 here, we have Bitcoin sitting at 36,500, Ethereum sitting at 2,567, Tether is Tether, Binance Coin sitting at 385, Cardano sitting at $1.13, Solana sitting at 109, XRP is down 13.1%, sitting at 63 cents. Terra sitting at 62.85. And DOT is sitting at 19.56. So as you can see, there's a lot of red in the market right now. Coming over to the fear and greed index, we're currently sitting at 19. So we're way down from where we were yesterday, currently sitting at a 24. So now we're sitting at 19. Obviously, we've seen this lower than 19 in our past week. I think we were as low as like 10 or something crazy. So as you can see, there's a lot of fear still in the market that's affecting our market. So speaking of, the regular stock market and what's going on, as you can see, everything's down. Look at the NASDAQ, the S&P 500 down almost 2%, NASDAQ down 2.72. And then like most of the articles you see is a lot of negativity that's going on. So there's so much fear that's spreading, not only in our market, but in the regular stock market as well, which is causing a lot of people to panic sell. And there's a lot of liquidations happening, which is like a cascading effect or a domino effect that's just kind of bringing us further and further down. Coming over here, we're looking at James Invest Answers tweet here, and he says, Bitcoin up 4%, down 9% in all 12 hours. Welcome to options expiry. Bears are in control. They need Bitcoin under 41,000 to pocket 132 million in gains. Seatbelt, please, or the toilet. Welcome to Friday expiry. So this is another, he looks at charts and he also looks at like fundamentals behind companies, and he's a big numbers guy. So I value his input when it comes to what's going on with not only in the crypto market, but also in the regular stock market. Coming over here, we have blockchain backers. It's stock market tanked into the close and crypto flipped red at the same time. Tomorrow will be interesting to see how markets respond to this dramatic day. Up all day, then dump into and after close. So this was yesterday. He had tweeted this. And as much as we don't like to think so, there is some correlation when it comes to our market and the stock market. So whenever something happens in the stock market, we can almost see a similar effect when it comes to the crypto market. So, I mean, this is just quite evident in what he's stating here. And he's a big chart analyst that really looks at his TA and he values, his approach to investing. So I value his input as well. So coming over here, he had tweeted this today. He says, bear market structure nearly equivalent, bring the bounce. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's a lot of fear that's going on in the market. And just like we've said in past videos, when it typically comes to a lot of fear and extreme fear in the market, that's typically the so-called signal of like, hey, this is the time to accumulate. Obviously, nothing I ever say on this channel is, financial advice, but it's like per, history and great investors that's been out there, this is typically the time that accumulation should be happening. So with that being said, you have guys like, James putting out his information, and you have, the blockchain backer just kind of adding some value and clarity to what's going on within the charts and the fundamentals behind things. So as you can see, there's so much adoption going on behind the scenes. Obviously, you had, Walmart, Nike, the metaverse popping off. You have Google coming out with stuff. There's so many things happening. You have countries adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. There's so many things moving in the positives when it comes to the crypto market. So like when we're going through these times of, extreme fear, we have to really zoom out and see where we're at and what's really happening behind scenes, because typically if people are panicking in these times and they're selling, if you have to sell, you have to sell. But typically these are the times where, hey, you hold strong. If you can accumulate what, and then, have conviction within, your investment strategies. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that. Obviously there's a lot of fear in all markets. Everything's kind of down, everything's hurting. There's just a lot of fear out in the markets. So now we're coming over here. I just quickly wanted to touch on this because we were talking about in our past video how the SEC is coming after everybody. And if you have some sort of reservations against Ripple and XRP, you need to discard that and destroy it, because if the SEC wins this case against Ripple, who knows, what type of, overregulation that they're going to throw at our market, which in turn can hinder, the growth and prosperity of the crypto market. So this was by CoinDesk here. I tweeted, the SEC chair Gary Gensler wants to rein in crypto exchanges with tighter scrutiny. And then this is quoted from the commissioner, Paul Atkin. He says, the real question is, does the SEC have jurisdiction and authority over it? So I just wanted to bring this up again and just touch on it because it's so important that we all understand. And I know if you're listening to this video, you typically have some sort of understanding, but we all need to understand the importance and the impact that the Ripple versus SEC case can make on the entire crypto market, because they're not just coming after crypto projects, they're coming after, platforms and exchanges as well. And it's quite evident here. And he's actually said it in his words on video that he wants to make sure that these projects, these platforms, and these exchanges are compliant with investor protection, which is kind of silly because it's like investor protection. You're hurting investors. You're not giving us the clarity we need to, move forward within our investment strategies. So moving on to that part of it, the whole silliness behind, we need to protect the investors. We're going to come over to here. This is just a little snippet update of kind of what's been going on with what Judge Netburn had granted, Ripple when it comes to the SEC, Ripple versus SEC case. And this is Eleanor Terrett, John Deaton, and this is Charles Gasparino. So we're just going to quickly listen in to what he said in this clip here.
Sure. A while back, as far as March and April, Ripple was trying to get all internal SEC documents for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Judge Netburn ruled twice previously that they are relevant, that it goes to the Howey analysis and whether XRP is a security and whether or not Ripple had fair notice. But the SEC claimed that it was all privileged under this deliberative process privilege. And the judge finally came down with a ruling, and she basically said that two things Ripple gets. One is the Bill Hinman draft speech that went to 63 people or 63 emails. That email and the draft speech Ripple gets. And Ripple also gets any notes by SEC staff lawyers that quote third parties not associated with Ripple. Real quick, Ripple, the judge said that any notes that dealt with the CFTC, those are privileged. Any notes that dealt with Ripple meetings, since Ripple was there, they don't get them because they know what happened. But notes related to meetings of third parties not related to Ripple are relevant and can be produced to Ripple, although the SEC might be able to invoke attorney-client privilege. Why is that important? A lot of people are not paying attention to that ruling because who are those third parties? Those third parties are Joe Lubin, Consensus, Andreessen Horowitz. And so the Ripple will be able to get, if the SEC lawyer said, Joe Lubin said ABC, they get that. If the lawyer said Joe Lubin said ABC, and I think this means, then the SEC can still redact the mental impressions of the SEC staff. And so that's basically the ruling in a nutshell.
So, with that being said, I got 2 points to make on this. So one, so when it comes to the meetings that Ripple had with the SEC, whenever they had their meetings, why can't they get those logs and those, those documents? Yeah, they were there, so they know what happened. But when it comes to, expressing what happened in those meetings to, the judge or the so-called, people, overseeing the case, isn't it more like a he said, she said? So like without actually having like the hard evidence, like, hey, here's kind of what's happened and it's there, and it's evident. It's not a he said, she said. Wouldn't that make Ripple's case more powerful, or even in turn the SEC's case more powerful? So it's kind of weird that they can't get those. Now, on the second part of it, at what point, does privilege have less power? Like, why is everything privileged? So this is going to turn into, my next point here, and he had brought it up, is like, okay, what's going to be redacted when it comes to it? Because now Johnny Dean here, this is by Bank XRP, he had tweeted the PBD podcast when John Deaton went on and had the conversation, and you're going to quickly see here, the redactions that were in, this document that Johnny Deaton has. So let's take a look.
Yeah.
Now, in action.
He's asked questions like, have you ever worked for Ethereum Foundation? Look at the answers.
Look at the redactions.
All right, and this isn't the whole, this isn't the whole lawsuit.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Right?
This is insane.
Now, why would they redact, Pat, if he's asked a question, have you ever had clients that are part of the Ethereum Foundation? If I represent you and your business, I can't talk about what we talk about.
John, is
but
this
if
public record?
No, it was an exhibit that's public record.
Can we show this or no?
Oh, yes, you can show it.
So like,
absolutely.
So I don't know.
So I'm just going to pause it right there. So if you haven't listened to this podcast, I would go in and listen to it. There's a lot of great information on kind of what's been going on. But look at this paper here. Literally 99% of it is blacked out. So even if Ripple was granted more documents, more, resources, how much of it is going to be redacted? At what point are these redactions just absurd? How is Ripple supposed to, protect their side, and fight their case within this case? If this is what they're going to be getting, these so-called SEC representatives are, set out to protect investors, but it's like the so-called investors that you're set out to protect, you're hurting. We're invested in XRP, which is, a product of Ripple. It just makes no sense. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up. So now we're going to come over here. Digital Asset Investor had posted, I don't know if this was a retweet, but posted this, and I wanted to quickly play it for you so you can kind of hear what's been going on. So here's kind of what the quote was. It says, I think the Ethereum's market cap will eclipse Bitcoin, so it'll surpass Bitcoin in 22, and I think it's safe to say it will be over 25,000. So this is Andrew Keys. Let's take a listen to this.
What's your price prediction for the Ethereum, let's say 2023?
Infinite.
Yeah, more than Bitcoin.
I think that Ethereum's market cap will eclipse Bitcoin, so it'll surpass Bitcoin in 2022, and I think it's safe to say it will be over 25,000.
So obviously that's Andrew Keys saying that here. So BC Backer had replied with a tweet that said, with clarity, XRP jumps them both. Once Bitcoin becomes an altcoin, there is absolutely no reason for its existence. Any of these digital assets with scarcity can be a store of value. No utility, no value. So I think there's a lot of power behind his message here, and he has high conviction on on this statement here. Now, with that being said, me personally, obviously there's going to be some rhyme or reason Bitcoin's going to hold its value and have it stay in power. So as long with Ethereum, whenever they get into regulatory compliance, whenever that clarity does come out, whether it's a security or not. But I do believe that once the clarity comes out for XRP and Ripple's able to really fully set up shop, and XRP is allowed to release its shackles and do its thing, yes, absolutely, XRP is really going to change the world, and it's going to be massive in market cap, absolutely. So coming over here just to talk about how significant it is, listen to David Schwartz here. I think this is at the Bitcoin conference here. Let's take a look.
Imagine every major institution in the world able to settle every major fiat asset with every other institution in a compatible jurisdiction in seconds for less than a penny. And I'll say that again in case you missed it. Imagine every major institution in the world able to settle every major fiat asset with every other institution in a compatible jurisdiction in seconds for less than a penny. That is a very, very big deal.
So this is absolutely massive, and thanks to Crypto Eddie for posting this up. That's absolutely massive, because think about how much money it costs to transfer money, to your friend or family member, across the sea or cross borders or whatever the case is. Let alone transferring your money just locally. You're instantly charged $30+ to do it. For something like this to be less than a penny, fractions of a penny, is absolutely massive. We see the writing on the wall as XRP investors. We know where this is going. XRP, Ripple truly have the ability and the utility to solve a real world problem, which is going to change our everyday, day-to-day lives, which is massive. I wanted to end the video here with Digital Asset Investor had put this in his recent video, and he was talking about how silly it was that the SEC had the audacity to post this video here. It's pretty much like a little highlight of them talking about we got some big things done in 2021, and we're rocking and rolling in 2022 with a lot more to do. Okay, like what? You're going to drop the hammer on more people? You're going to stifle more innovation? You're going to keep more companies from being able to grow and be prosperous? You're going to hinder more markets? Like, what are you going to do? And if you come down here to this thread here, there's probably like 99.9%, if not more, of just negativity and just being called out. And I just thought that was funny. I like to kind of end with humor whenever I find some. So with all that being said, there's a lot of fear in the market. Stay strong out there. Accumulate if you can accumulate. Never financial advice. It's just my opinion. It's my personal plan. With all that being said, truly, keep your head up. Stay strong out there. Be safe.